Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in Azuma. Now, I know, maybe not the ship that everybody thinks about when they think about, great ships to take out. But I'm telling you, ever since the last buff, this thing is disgustingly good. So that's why I've been taking it out more and more lately. It's nasty. But we're going to push up. We've got shards. We're going to spawn Charlie and we're going to see what we can get into. We're going to pull off one of the nastiest flanks. But this is going to look very familiar. To those of you who've seen my Alaska replay on this map, it's going to look very, very familiar. But yeah, we're going to get right into it. So first off, we're going to push forward. We're going to get into position to see what's out here. We do have a destroyer to our left, and we have a battleship to our right. Now, in theory, you're going to get a lot of help from your teammates. In practice, it tends to be a little bit less than ideal. But we'll see what we can get into. We're going to push around the whole left side of the map here. Go around behind the islands and get a good flank on these guys. Because there are going to be a couple of battleships over here. And a destroyer. So our Fletcher should be able to handle pretty much any destroyer he comes up against, within reason. So that's why I don't necessarily push straight in, as well as the fact that I know there's likely to be battleships out here. And right off the bat, we see a Massachusetts get lit up, and he's not the only one that's there. I believe there's a North Carolina that's here as well, because we did get top tier, which is nice. But we're just going to wait until we get to a point where we can fire just before we get behind the island. That way, we get our shot off and we don't get shot in return. Now, the good thing about the Azuma is that it has pretty decent speed. I mean, for a giant cruiser like this, a super cruiser, the fact that we're able to get through here pretty much no problem is great. But he does get one shell that gets over the edge of the thing and hits us, which is kind of annoying, but is what it is. There's an enemy Benson here, and this Benson is actually going to smoke up, and he's going to stop right in the edge of the cap, which is unfortunate because that means that he contests for our Fletcher, who is now just sitting there waiting for a little bit of help. Now, we're going to give that Fletcher a little bit of help. We're going to push up here, and we're going to spot this Benson for our teammate. We're not actually going to be able to get a shot on him. You can see we are running the sonar because I was anticipating potentially torpedoes coming through this gap. But I also want to get close enough that I can proxy detect this Benson once we get up here. Now, obviously, we're pulling out broadside in front of two battleships, which is never ideal. We fire the HE because we had HE ready for the Benson, but he's around the corner. We can't do anything, and you can see he's already freaking out. He's already crashed into the island. He's just sitting there, and between the battleship and the destroyer, he should be able to get punished here. And you can see both of my guys are shooting the battleship instead of shooting the Benson. And finally, we get them to start shooting at the Benson, and he starts taking some hits here and there. But they take so long to end up trying to kill this guy, and I don't understand it. Like, they're not that far away, but Benson is thinking about coming around the corner. And I've got HE loaded just in case, because if he gets around this corner, or gets close to coming around the corner, we got to be able to remove him. Now, unfortunately, it never comes down to that, because my teammates do actually end up shooting him. And, yeah, he's just done. Now, the good news is, as we push up, we're going to have a nasty flank on these guys. But the North Carolina's not an idiot. He actually paid attention to the fact that I went past him, and is coming around the backside, so North Carolina's sitting here waiting for a chance to shoot me. And we're going to try to use the island as best we can. And this is where paying attention and knowing your positioning on the map and trying to do the best you can to stay hidden for as long as possible comes in handy. Here you can see we back away from the island. We wait for an opportunity to shoot. We get 11,000 damage on this guy. He can't see us. We're using the island to protect our superstructure, and he finally goes far enough around the island that he actually gets us spotted. Now, this is not ideal. North Carolina can definitely, absolutely obliterate us here, so we got to be careful. We aim another shot of AP at his broadside. He's just begging for it, so every time we reload, we're going to punch him. And we're reloading every 17 seconds. Now, here he takes a shot at us. We slow down and stop. He gets a couple hits on us. We get very fortunate there. But unfortunately, him staying broadside is not going to end in his favor. As he starts to turn in, it's a little too late. We get another good hit on him. 4 overpins, though. And somebody got a fire on him right there. Now, here I push over to the right side. I'm going to use the island again to try to protect my bow, because he can clearly punch straight through my bow. I cannot overmatch him. I only have 310mm guns. Now, he hits the belt armor and manages to do enough damage that it's actually not ideal, but it doesn't matter. He goes down thanks to the Brandenburg. Now, with Brandenburg and the Fletcher both hiding around at max range, basically, I am going to start to push out on this enemy Massachusetts. And we're going to, again, finish our flank. We're not going to sit here and wait. We're going to push out. Now, this could end horribly, but, in fact, we end up timing this pretty well, and he's not able to do crap. So, as we come around the corner, he's angled, but it's his butt facing us, so we go ahead and aim that shot, and we manage to get a good pin for 7,100. He takes a little bit of damage from everybody else as well, and he's not long for this world. Between the secondaries of the Brandenburg and the Fletcher's guns going off, he's not going to be able to live too much longer. And then even if he does live long enough, we're going to take a shot into a superstructure, and we're going to go ahead and finish him off. Now, we have 2 caps. They don't have a single cap. So, at this point, our team has a huge points lead. Oh, hello, Cleveland. Well, I've got AP loaded. If this guy's not paying attention, we might be able to mop him up real quick. We're aiming high because we're anticipating the turnout. And yeah, unfortunately, we didn't aim high enough. We do get a couple of hits, but they're all ricochets. Didn't manage to do any damage, which is really unfortunate. That guy's going to come back and be a pain later. But keep an eye on what my team does here. We have the points lead. All we have to do is hold the 2 caps that we have, and we win the match. Now, they have 2 destroyers. We only have 1 destroyer left. They have the Cleveland out there, who's very low health. They have an Iowa that's just, I mean, I got nothing good to say about this Iowa, other than the fact that he's going to get one of the luckiest salvos he's ever going to throw at me. We hit that man for 8,000 damage, and then we start to turn in. Again, I want to use the island to try to protect my bow, because I know that he overmatches, and he can absolutely crush me through the bow. You can see we take and fire the rear guns at him. Pretty decent RNG there, but only one of them manages to hit the ship. And then we fire the front guns and get less than an ideal hit. And then we turn in, and that man hits us with every shell right through the bow. It's not an ideal situation. And then he gets another nasty hit with the other gun. It's just like every shot that man just shot went straight into the frickin' ship, which is not ideal. But we return the favor, and then we actually citadel him and kill him. So, yeah. Azuma's nasty. I don't know if I've said that before, but Azuma's nasty. That AP slaps. And the HE's nasty as well. But we're at 88,000 damage. We've killed 2 ships. And we've managed to secure this side of the map. Now, again, there are 2 destroyers. We have a Fletcher still. Okay? Not only do we have a full health Fletcher, but we have a full health Brandenburg, pretty much. And Brandenburg just eats all the torpedoes in the world and ends up getting annihilated. Or no, that's Iowa, sorry. That was an Iowa. Brandenburg's already gone. So our team goes from having a significant lead to now only having 2 caps, and we still have a points lead, but the enemy is like pulling back this game. Now, this is still anybody's ball game at this point. I don't have the most hit points in the world, so I've got to be careful. But I can still impact this match. If I play smart and I catch these guys slipping, I can still impact this match. Now, I'm anticipating torpedoes. Now, I know the Kagero was just here. And I know that there's a Tirpitz coming, and I know there's a Cleveland out here. And the Cleveland, he screws up one too many times here, but we have HE loaded, unfortunately. We are going to be able to hit him, and we get 3 full pins with HE on the Cleveland. If we had AP loaded there, he dies. But because we had HE loaded for the destroyer, he managed to survive for now, and now we've got to shoot him again. Now he turns away. We're going to go ahead and aim high, try to get that superstructure hit. If I get 1 or 2 hits, he's dead. And there it is. We get 2 hits, he's finished off, and that leaves us going toe-to-toe with the Tirpitz. But Akatsuki manages to kill our other Iowa. And that leaves 2 destroyers versus my Fletcher and me. And there's the Tirpitz out here who's full health. Of course he is. So, I immediately take advantage of this smoke screen. I know I need to turn to kite out. I don't want to be going straight at him because even a Tirpitz with as bad a RNG as that thing's going to get out of the shells. And that's when our Fletcher gets death struck by torpedoes from the Kagero. Go figure. The one thing that the Fletcher is absolutely ridiculously good at is agility and not being able to be, you know, torped very easily. And the fact that it can absolutely dominate enemy destroyers. And he manages to get torped to death by the Kagero, which is... I have no words. I have no words. So it comes down to me. I've got 117,000 damage. I've got 3 kills. There are 3 people left. The enemy has captured a second base. And the game is still not over. There's 4.5 minutes left. So they're going to be able to potentially win this on points. But if I can manage to kill this Tirpitz, especially late, there's a chance that I still win this game. So that's the goal here. We're kiting away. We're going to do the best that we can to avoid as many shells from this Tirpitz as possible. He's actually not that far away. He's only 8.6. But you can see I'm switching over to the HE to start the damage over time. We get the fire on him. We get 6 hits. There's our high caliber. He gets some pretty good RNG here, but we're angled away. And he does get a couple of hits on us, unfortunately, but relatively minor damage overall. So we go ahead, we take another shot at the Tirpitz here. We're again trying to make sure we turn away. We've got 2 fires burning on him right now, and it appears to be permafires. Now we're going to go ahead and switch over to the AP while he goes broadside and try to score some damage while he thinks that we're going to be shooting HE. Now, this is something that happens quite a bit, is that people will go broadside thinking you're only going to shoot HE, but we turn in, we managed to get another 2,400. He actually did turn in at the last second there, unfortunately. So we had to go for superstructure rather than the broadside hit. But as we keep kiting away, we notice that his fires have gone out. Well, we can't allow that. We need to keep those fires burning. So we're going to go ahead and take a rear gun with some HE at him. And no fires. Front guns look a lot better dispersion-wise. And there we get a fire. Now we know that that fire is going to burn for a while. So we're going to continue to see if we can't get a second fire. If we get another fire at this point, he's done. Like, you know what I mean? There's no surviving that. We're doing a really good job of dodging his shells. And no fire. That's really unfortunate. He gets a couple of hits here, one right through the stern, but we know he's burning. We've still got the HE loaded because we're going to be able to do more damage here, whether to a superstructure or get a second fire. But we know this guy is dead at this point, and that's going to give us the lead again. But we get no fires. We managed to take a little bit more of his health off, and he is now about to lose all of his health. He's dead. Now look at the score. Look at the score, guys. There's less than 2 minutes here. And this is one of those times where I make a huge misplay. We have the lead. They cannot win on points at this point. That kill secured the win for our team. I did not expect the destroyers to be this close. And this is the downside of these super cruisers. They're not the most agile things in the world. And unfortunately, I'm not able to get the rear around. And we have to hit that freaking torpedo. And now, Kagero has made a huge mistake here too. Showing himself gives me a chance. But unfortunately, he manages to get the immediate fire. Like, you cannot make that up. Like, sure. Us taking that torpedo was inexcusable. We should have kept kiting away, and we would have been absolutely fine. But unfortunately, we end up going down to the destroyers because of the torpedo hit that I took and a guaranteed win. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like this? Almost a crack at 1,890 base XP and a loss, top of the leaderboard. If we had a little bit more help in that one, maybe we pull that one off. And if I wasn't such a doofus, maybe we pull that one off. But let me know what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy that one? I thought it was a pretty good match, but that big mistake there at the end cost our team a guaranteed victory. So as much as I would like to blame my teammates there, it still came down to me being able to win the game, and I threw it. So, yeah, not ideal. But if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.